If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement, Male Advantage ebook, or my personal workout and diet plan, all links are in the bio. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. I thought of a decent idea the other day when I was in London. I thought, I'm turning 29. I'm 29 now. It happened on Saturday. And I thought it'd be quite good actually, because now I'm in those sort of ages where people start to panic. Like, oh, I'm 29, I need to be successful, I need to be in this position. I'm not married yet, all that. I don't recommend marriage, okay? I always forget people haven't watched my other videos and shit. But people panic over this sort of stuff because all your friends and family, like people around you are starting to do that sort of thing, so people panic. But I think it's a good idea to be like, okay, I'm 29. Here's what I've learned from turning 29. Like, here's how I feel. Here's where I see my life going, so that people who are close to that age can then relate, watch the video, and it can improve their life. And then if somebody's 25 years old in 4 years' time, they can come across this video and be like, oh, I remember when Chris made that 29 video. I'm feeling a little bit shit. Let me watch it. So I'll make one for 29, 30, 31, 30. It just kind of makes sense, right? Like a yearly review. Now, the one thing, I was making notes on the train when I was going down to London. And the one thing, like the first thing that I kept thinking of was like how young I feel. Like, it's scary. I was talking to a guy on the weekend as well, one of my friends who's like 41 years old. He was like, mate, I still feel like I'm 18. It's incredible. He was like, I just don't feel older at all. He was like, I feel like my whole life's ahead of me. And at 29, honestly, some people panic and say, oh, I'm nearly 30, it's panic stations. And I've explained this before, how 29 is only actually like 11 years old, because it's not until 18 where we're allowed to like do stuff in life. Like I've always said, what are you going to do? Start a business at 5 years old? You're going to get in the gym at 7 and get jacked muscles and start shagging women? Like, of course not, right? So it's not until like 18 where things actually happen. So you've had only like 11 years to put things together. But even with that being said, like, I just feel stupidly young. I just feel stupidly young. Like I was talking to my ex-girlfriend on the weekend, and she was like, you look about 10 years younger than you did when we were together. Right? So there's that. That really helps. Like, I feel like I'm rewinding the clock because my life was so shit before. I looked so shit before. So there's that. And obviously, if I look younger, I'm going to feel younger because physically, obviously, there's been changes. You know, if that makes sense. I was obviously not living well before, hence why I probably didn't feel good and look good and whatever. So there's that aspect of it that, you know, getting in the gym and doing my fitness, what I've been doing this year, I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to feel a lot more optimistic. My hormones are going to be in sync because my testosterone's good and I'm eating well, right? And I'm not drinking alcohol. Like, there's multiple aspects to this. But I just feel so young. Like, if somebody said to me right now, like, how many years do you have ahead of you? I'd be like, 3,000 years ahead of me. Like, I just feel like it's unexhaustible. It's just unendable. Like, the best years of my life are going to come. I made that video recently for you guys. The other side of male life. It was like in the motivational video. It's done really well. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that. It was quite a spontaneous video and it's done really well. So I'm happy about that. And in that video, I spoke about how like the next years of my life are going to be 10 times better than what I've just lived. Like, I was broke. I was out of shape. I was like chasing women and stuff like that. Whereas then you go to the other side of your life and it's like beautiful women are chasing you. You've got money. You're in great shape. You look healthy. You're traveling the world. You're able to do things you weren't able to do before. You have like more civilized nights out. Like, I just went to London. I was having like meals with a glass of wine, an early night, getting in the gym the next morning, going out for walks, like meeting up with friends. Like, it's completely different, and I love all that shit. It's so much better than what was going on that weekend, which was Glastonbury and kids coming back who are just like coked off their heads, like they look like shit, they feel like shit. Like, I don't see an equal parallel, right? So for me, it's like life gets better from that point onwards. But 29 just feels so young. And there might be guys watching this who are like 18, 19 years old, and they're like, 29 seems so old to me. Life's weird, okay? And I do need to do a video on this soon. I keep talking about it, where like from 18 to like 28, you might make, okay, let's say 18 to 30, you might make like 0.2% of all progress that you're ever going to make in your life. And then from like 30 to 31, you might make like 7% progress. Which sounds like nothing, but the total progress in your whole life, that's a giant leap. Okay, so you might get something like 1000% more things done in terms of like progress in 1 year than you would in like 12. And it's almost like a male compound effect. It's almost like all the work that you're putting in from 18 to 30 is building up to something. You know, when people say that overnight success, like, oh, it took, this guy's an overnight success, and the person who's done it is like, well, actually, no, it was like an overnight success over 20 years. It's just now it's coming to the forefront. Like, I finally reached the surface and I'm sprouting up and people can finally see the results, right? It's that sort of shit. And that's what I feel like happened to me last year. Like, last year was like the first year where things actually got going. Like, I'd been working my balls off behind the scenes for a long, long time. But this year it was like, oh, the fitness transformation. Oh, this guy's got abs. He looks good. You know, it was like the supplements rolled out. Oh, okay, now, you know, he's decided to turn a profit from the business with like a fancy product, right? And all that shit kind of came together. So I felt like last year I was 1 years old. So this year I feel like I'm 2 years old. I feel like, oh, great, this is the second year. I have momentum. I have things to work off. Things are going well. This is great. And that's a really nice feeling. It's a really nice feeling. So like last year, like I said, I was grinding from the ground up. It was like, I've got to get things started. I've got to do something productive this year. I've got to get in shape. This year it's like, if I maintain the shape I'm currently in and I maintain the income that I've currently got, it's still good. So there's no pressure. It's just all momentum. Now, obviously, I'm going to take things further, fitness, business, whatever. I'm going to push everything. But there's nothing like holding me back this year. There's not like, oh, I have to invest 10 grand into this just to get this going. It's like, let's go. I did this last year. It's just rinse and repeat, but of a higher level. Let's push everything forward. We have, you know, a much bigger audience now. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm just like optimistic. I'm massively optimistic. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be hard days. There's going to be great days. It's going to be a lot of hard work. There's going to be a lot of cold winter nights where I'm like, fuck me. I'd love to be balls deep in a woman right now instead of working on this shit. But it all pays off because I've seen that this year. I'm sat in a 10 times better position right now. And I know that if I do it again next year, I'm going to be in a 1000% better position just because of compounding and, you know, it just grows exponentially. I'm just going to be so happy this time next year, turning 30. And I see that coming. And then I think, okay, that's male advantage. That's the start of my life. Well, what a great platform I've built for myself to go and do all that. And I've got all these goals, but they might get bigger. They might grow. And I'm like, shit, what does the future hold? Like, how many trips am I going to have? What level of woman am I going to be able to have, like, this time next year? What am I going to be doing? Is the streaming platform going to start? Am I going to be on set filming? Am I going to be, like, 10 times happier than I am now? That's how I'm thinking at 29. And I do see how people get to 29 and they get depressed, okay? Because they haven't got anything going for them. They haven't, like, built anything up. They haven't planned for this moment. They've gone out, got drunk, and then gone, shit, I'm turning 30 next year. I better do something. So you guys that are way younger than me, prepare now. Start preparing, because when you get to these ages, yeah, you've sacrificed nights out, yeah, you've sacrificed women, yeah, you've sacrificed relationships and all this other shit, but it pays off. Like, I've never felt happier, younger, I've never looked better, in my opinion. You know, I'm getting my SMP in this first week of October now. The guy's got to go to Dubai. He makes way more money in Dubai, I think. So I'm like, yeah, go, it's cool. But like, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind being bold. Like, it's cool with me. Like, it's just something extra that I'm doing. It should make great content, and I think it will look good. Not like I'm panicking over like, damn, it's going to ruin my life, okay? If it was another 2 years, I wouldn't really care. That's just how I feel about it. That's why I'm getting it done, because I've mastered that. I'm happy being bold. I'm happy being out in public. Like, that's something that you guys should do if anybody's listening to this now. Instead of getting like a hair transplant or SMP, just as an extra lesson here, conquer it first. Live with it for 3, 4, 5 years. Go to a public place without a hat on and shit like that, and just, you know, brave it. Just be who you are. Then you can get things done, because you know that your mind is, you know, you're not relying on things to prop you up in life, okay? It's just an extra lesson. But I just see a massively optimistic year. Like, my September is going to be supplements coming in. It's going to be basically SMP, because it's at the end of that, okay? My cut's going to finish, so I'm going to go back into maintenance, so my body will just puff up. The muscles will get filled with glycogen. I'll probably be like 2 kilograms bigger pretty much like within a week or two, because I've been constantly depleted. Like, a lot of things are just clicking into place. And it's like, okay, what a great start to my 29th year. And I don't feel worried. Like, I don't feel worried at all. I feel so optimistic, like I said. But moving on to the next point. My next point is kind of, I hope it's not controversial, okay? I'll explain this very well in the best terms I can. I remember watching a KSI video 5-6 years ago when I was really, really young, and people were moaning at him that he wasn't making FIFA videos anymore. And he was like, guys, I can't make FIFA videos forever. He was like, yeah, they're great, they're cool, they get a lot of views. He was like, but I'm willing to sacrifice the views to grow mentally with my content. He was like, I'm older now, I can't do the same shit I used to do. And he was like, if I keep making the same thing, I get bored. At the time, I was like, oh, that's silly. I didn't really relate, but I was like, I appreciate the fact that he's maturing. Now I'm in a position where a lot of people are saying to me, what happened to the body language analysis videos and stuff like that? And look, I love body language. Body language is one of the first self-improvement things I ever did. I still love it to this day, and I love making the videos. But a lot of the videos are the same. They kind of have to be. There's only so many things you can say, right? And there's only so many scenes I can analyze. If an amazing scene, like COVID fucked us up, okay? Because Bond would have been out already. The new series of Peaky Blinders would have been out. I would have had so much more content to analyze. But I don't want to like force it. I don't want to just do like a random character and be like, okay, I'm going to do a body language analysis on this character. Now, I like doing the videos, but I feel like I've kind of grown mentally. And I want to switch my content up a lot more. Like, I don't enjoy doing them as much as I enjoy doing other things. And this is one thing that I really want to do this year. And I will still make body language analysis videos. I will still make the male advantage journeys. I just want to scale them up. Like the male advantage journey, if I do one on like Henry Cavill, which I will do one on Henry Cavill in the next couple of weeks, that's probably going to be coming out, or Michael B. Jordan, or the ones that I've done, I want to get them on like a podcast. I mean, like, you guys know I've got a gym just there on the left. Nothing fancy, right? It's a bit shit. But it got me through COVID. I want to get all of this plastered, make it look brilliant, okay? Because I know I'm going to be here till March. Then I might fuck off back to London. But I might make that into a podcast studio. I'm very tempted to set that up and turn that into like a proper fresh and fit type like studio and get people on. And yeah, I might not get like Michael B. Jordan on, Henry Cavill right now. That's not what I'm saying. But that's the kind of shit I want to do. I want to get somebody on like a big male influencer or somebody who's got a big following, like a Mike Thurston or whatever, sit him down and be like, let's actually go through your male advantage journey. Like, what happened when you were young? How did you get to this stage? And kind of guide him through that story of the male advantage, because people aren't as familiar with it as we are. And be like, okay, so you got to this age, and then what happened? And then things took off at 30. Like, and actually go through it all and be like, why did you sacrifice women? Why did, like... That excites me, because then I'm face to face with a human being. I can have a conversation. But making like a body language analysis video and all the analytics and drawing across, yeah, it's really raw and I like it. But as I get older, I have more of a sense of pride where I'm like, that looks good. It's good content. It gets a lot of views. Yeah, it gets a lot of subscribers in and whatnot, and I enjoy it and I'll still do them. But at the same time, I'm like, how can I go up a level? How can I scale this up? Like, I'd much rather, my perfect kind of content now would be like a gym vlog where it's like a proper workout video. I'm mic'd up and I'm talking my way through it and I'm showing you guys what I do. And then like I edit it so it's got all the music. Like, it looks like a professional proper job. And then the next day I'm like getting on a plane to go and do like a video of like a travel vlog or whatever, like a day in the life sort of thing. And then I'm executing on supplements and I'm filming all of that. And I'm like, here's how I ship them out, guys. Here's the process. Here's what I'm going to do with these. Here's how long it, like, just going through everything and just making it more like adult and mature content. Because I'm evolving as well. Like, I made that thing recently, didn't I, about the hyper masculine character, like creating your hyper masculine character. I'm at a stage now where I quite like to do that. I'd quite like to like scale my own life up. Like, I'd quite like to go shopping and buy like go to Paris and buy some like really high-end clothes and stuff and like frame my image a little bit more. So instead of just being that 28-year-old Chris, 27-year-old Chris who like sat on camera, was just like some puffy little boy who just made a few like videos and said some decent shit and whatever. It's like, okay, what if I come on, what if I've got a videographer and they're filming me walking around Paris wearing like an immaculate outfit, like a really nice, like an overcoat with a suit or something, and I'm like going and wrapping up deals and there's handshakes and whatever, and I'm like teaching lessons. I don't know why I said handshakes, but you get the idea, right? It's kind of like a theme. And I'm like driving around in my nice car and whatever, and it's just almost like a day in the life, and it's like, okay, Chris went from a boy to a man. And that's what excites me now. Or being on set for the streaming platform, and it's like behind the scenes, and I'm like, come here guys, come and see the set. This is where we're going to be filming today. Here's the actors. And you can actually see all this stuff evolving. You're like, okay, he's gone from some guy just sat behind a camera here to a mainstream entrepreneur, grown man who's got his shit together, who's killing it in life. I want to make that bridge. And if I do a body language analysis video, I kind of want to do it in person. Like stand there with Henry Cavill and watch one of his videos and be like, what were you thinking there? Why did you do that? Like actually break it down. Okay, so you would do that, and what image would that portray? Maybe even do it with like a body language coach that trains actors, and you know, get Mark Bowden, the body language expert that I learned from on the podcast. Like that. Do you see what I mean, guys? It's almost like an evolution. It's a step up. You get bored of doing the same thing, especially when it's not low quality, it's not low level, it's great content. Okay, I have to say. And I like doing them, you guys like watching them, but there will be a rinse and repeat effect where it's just like, how much more can I say about the same thing? Like, how can we scale this up? Can I throw £1,000 at each one of those videos and do like a big budget version? Ragnar Lothbrok body language, I'm there with Ragnar, I can't remember his actual name, and I'm like, okay, do the walk for us. Let me analyze it in real time, okay, while you've got your elbows there. I think it would look better if you did this. Like, that would be amazing, right? Like scaling it up to like the next level. Maybe that's a series for the streaming platform because it's going to be so big budget. You know how like GQ do like breaking down your movies with the actors? It could be like breaking down the body language with the actor who actually did the body language. Like, what were you thinking here? Why did you do that? Because so many people always say to me on the comments, you do know this isn't real life, right? And it would be so good to sit there with the actor and be like, obviously it's not real life, but you do this to portray a sort of to evoke certain emotions. Like you've done this one movement so that people do feel intimidated. So it does look like you're the alpha male in the group. Yeah, that's why I did it, Chris, because, and then they break it down. It's like, oh, okay, now we're getting a sense of why they do what they do, why they did that action, who did they learn it from? Well, this coach said this, and they've actually done studies. They'll know more than me because they're in the acting industry. That'd be so cool, right? You know, plus like an actual podcast rather than doing it on Zoom. Like, this is what I don't like. Yeah, it was COVID, but I'm doing a podcast on Zoom. And I'm like, okay, it's good. It fills the purpose. And quantity is better than quality if quality doesn't even happen, right? So you could have the best cameras in the world, but if you're always like, I want it to be perfect, I want it to be perfect, and you're never executing, then it's pointless. But if you're doing Zoom and it's average and I'm sat there in a tank top, but it's consistent content going out all the time, well, that's a million times better. But I want both. I want like really good quality, a proper studio setup, amazing acoustics, like maybe somebody editing the podcast so they look immaculate, 5 or 6 cameras so that we've got different angles, like these sort of murals up on the wall, like that Giga Chad I made the other day, like really set it out like a men's lifestyle studio, like something that emulates the community, or is resonant of the community, should I say, and then get like proper guests on and pay them to be here so we're not fucking around. It's not just like he's cancelled last minute. It's like he's paid to be here, he's definitely going to be here. You know, that sort of thing. Or we get 3 or 4 people on and we have like a group discussion. That's where I want to scale it. I want to go to the gym. I want to do a gym vlog. I want to go and like visit Hamza. Me and him do like a training video together. I want to go on holiday and like go and do like a men's lifestyle review of like really nice venues. Okay, I want to do like what I'm calling the Gentleman's Coast, which is, I think it begins in, where does it begin? In Napoli. Okay, so you've got like the Amalfi Coast. Then you go up to Rome. Then you go up to Florence, which is like Pitti Umo, which is like a men's show that happens, okay? Then you go around to Portofino. Then it goes around to Monaco. And then you go around to like Barcelona. Oh, Marseille and then Barcelona. I'm calling that the Gentleman's Coast. Like, I want to do that trip and vlog it and everything. And be like, look how cool this was, guys. Like a travel show for men. Like, I want to scale my content up now, okay? And that's where I'm at 29. That's where I'm at mentally. That's where my head is. I'm thinking, let's go up to the next level. Let's make the men's lifestyle, men's self-improvement industry respected. You know, GQ, massively respected. They do Men of the Year, like nobody took Man of the Year, like nobody turns down GQ. But I think we can all agree their content's shit, okay? It's very feminine. Most of their articles now aren't geared towards men. They're geared towards, I don't know, women, or like a lot of their content's geared towards gay men and women now, okay? I think that's fair to say if that's their audience, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But it started off as a men's magazine. I want to do a video on this soon, how like men's media has been feminized, and that's why I'm building the men's streaming platform. I don't even see GQ as competition anymore. I used to say I'm going to put their head in my fridge, but I think they're already dead. I don't know how they're holding up the profits. I think they're doing something illegal or some shit. I don't know, because I don't know anybody who uses GQ anymore. Maybe it's just ad revenue from stupid brands that haven't evolved, haven't realized that the real money is like, look, I wouldn't put ads on here anyway, but the real money is with companies like me and whatever. That's like how they would make the real money. But I just don't really see GQ as competition anymore. But they've like feminized all their media and whatnot, but they are like the standard for quality. Like they have the best quality content, and they made men's lifestyle and somewhat men's self-improvement semi-popular, but they stayed more over with men's lifestyle. I want to actually make men's lifestyle, men's self-improvement and that sort of thing sexy again. I want to make it what it used to be when it was like GQ, Mr. Porter and Esquire, when they were like all competing with each other. And they were producing content all the time on like here's the best shops for menswear, like the eight best shops, and they do a video on it, and it was actually valuable content. You know, they do those interviews with Tom Ford. That's what used to inspire me. I think GQ did this, where they had Tom Ford dressing up like average guys and turning them into superstars. And he was like, we need to change that coat. No, it's not really working for you. Tell you what would be a good look for you. You've got high cheekbones. We'll get these glasses that are this exact shape. That sort of content was brilliant. Okay, that used to really get me going. And because it was like high level, it was like decent quality. They've slipped off. They're not doing that anymore. I want to fill that space. I want to do the documentaries on why testosterone levels in men are dropping. You know, I want to fill that space. I want to like bridge everything up and become like the main. That's why, guys, I'm doing like skincare. That's why I'm doing men's supplements. That's why I'm doing men's clothes. That's why I'm looking at doing like the eye roller to get rid of like bags under your eyes and stuff. I'm trying to take over the entire men's industry, because if any of you are like me, you're looking at it right now and you're like, it's dead. It's dead. There's no new brands. There's no new kids on the block that are like trying to take over. The whole thing's dead. Like the men's industry isn't what it once was. Like it used to be so much fun, you know, it used to be sexy. Now the men's industry is like, why aren't guys wearing skirts anymore? Why aren't guys, if you're not wearing skirts, why are you not doing it? Harry Styles is doing it. Like it's become very feminine. Like the new James Bond is coming out, and it apparently is him getting ran over by the woman. Like this new young woman is like making him look like shit. He's like old and washed up, and she's beating him at everything. It's like a feminist film, okay? That's why we need the men's streaming platform. That's why I want to bridge my content out and make it real serious and like high level. I want to move into that space because I think GQ have fucked up. I think they've messed up. I think Esquire fell off ages ago. Mr. Porter went more into clothing and deliveries and whatever. I used to have blocks. I used to be like, I've got to beat these competitors. The road has just gone, zoom, open up, everybody move. First man's coming through. It's all wide open. And I want to execute on that. Usually I say about patience, guys, but when that opportunity opens up, you've got to be quick. And that's what I want to do this year. And yeah, the body language videos are fantastic, and they would get me there. And I will do them when I see a clip that is worthy of doing a body language analysis on. But if I can scale, if I can invest every single penny, if I can sacrifice for one or two more years, and I mean, like, I'm going to sacrifice for more than that, but I mean sacrifice completely for 1 or 2 more years and live like a bum again, I'm taking over the whole fucking industry. I'm going to own every single one of those pockets of like skincare, fashion, all this other shit. Like Gymshark, they've fallen off on like men's clothing. They went, oh, women's leggings, making us billions? Yeah, women's leggings, fuck men, you can have that standard shit. You know, we won't really care about it like we used to. We won't advertise it like we used to. It won't be like, yeah, Gymshark, tough, masculine. Like, yeah, we'll just focus on the women's shit. That will just be a byproduct. You know, men aren't really buying it like they used to be. But women are. Women are stuck into it. Every men's brand is just like moving away from men. They're like isolating themselves and they're going profits over quality, profits over quality. And I'm sat here thinking I could take all of that. I could take everything. I could start doing my own gym clothing for men because I know exactly what men want, and I actually give a shit about the male community. So that's what I'm like eyeing up at 29, okay? The other thing I want to do, I wouldn't mind putting some assets on the board. Of course, like I said, I might still sacrifice for like 1 or 2 years, but I'm at an age now where I'm like, it would be good to be back in London with like a really nice apartment again. It would be really nice to be back in London with a car again. Now it's up in the air. I'll see how things go, okay? But it would be nice. I've always made a promise to you guys that until the streaming platform's done, and by done I mean like the first 30 shows are filmed and it's released, and then obviously I'll keep going after that. But until that's done, I don't want to spend any money on anything but the brand, because I just feel like I've got a mission to complete. So that's one thing that I want to do. The other thing I want to do is I want to turn good money into serious money. Like hundreds of thousands is really cool, but like tens of millions is super fucking cool. That's where I want to go now. That's like where my mind's at. And then I just want to go higher than that eventually. But like right now, I feel like I'm massively capable of hitting like 10, 20 million in like the next couple of years, bringing in millions every single year, like efficiently. Like I feel like I could do that a piece of piss. Like 100,000, 200,000, that's a cool amount, okay? That was great. Like that's a starter base. But like the next bracket now, where I'm making like 100k investments, I'm earning like 2-3 million in a year. That's where I want to head next. That's where my mind's at. And the final thing I want to talk about is like the next 12 months for me are huge. Like everything beyond that is, I think, is going to take care of itself. Everything previous to this was just tough. Like it was the hardest fucking periods of my life. I feel like this is the middle bracket, where it's like the bridge, it's the transition year. And it's like everything will go from like really, really difficult. I've worked really hard. I've got to a decent level. Easy land is over on this side. I'm in the bridge year. Like I've just got to go across now. And it's just such an important 12 months where when everything goes right, instead of if, when everything goes right, when I execute perfectly this year, the transition is going to be massive. Like I said to you guys before, it'll be male advantage years. It'll be creating my hyper masculine character. It'll be everything coming together. It'll be a new life. It'll be a different Chris. It'll be a different brand. People will go, oh yeah, but 1STMAN is just this small YouTube channel. Bang. Fuck me, they're on the world stage and GQ have just gone missing. It will happen quick. When it goes, it will happen really quick. But these next 12 months are pivotal for me to, like when I turn 30 years old, I just want to have everything in place. It's not a pressure thing. It's not, I don't care about being 30. I think I've got so much more time. But psychologically, it's nice because I want to start a streaming platform around about 30 years old. I want to do like a solid 6 or 7 years, culminating with live sports. Then I'm going to back off. I'm just going to back off and live my life for a few years, see what I want to do beyond that. But until that point, you got 6, 7, 8 years. You got like 8 years of me doing this every single day, fully focused, helping all of you around the world. And then I'll see what I want to do. I'll make a decision at that point. But this is a pivotal 12 months that is going to decide the time frame of the next 8 years moving forward. Okay, this is the key year. So I'm really excited to see how it goes, guys. But anybody who's turning 29 or who's, is 29 right now or close to, yeah, don't worry. Just don't worry. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement, Male Advantage ebook, or my personal workout and diet plan, all links are in the bio.